These running backs could win you your fantasy leagues. For some reason or another, the community in fantasy has decided to fade these running backs. And at their current ADP price point, they are absolutely smash buys. We're going to tell you why they could help you win their leagues, why they're such a good value in fantasy. So stick around, do us a huge favor and show some support. Make sure you like the video. And also make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We're going to bring you the highest quality, in-depth research and analysis to help you win your fantasy leagues. And we'd really love it if you joined us on this journey and subscribed to the channel. So again, 5 running backs today that could potentially win you your league. The first one, this one should be fairly obvious to people, but he's going as the RB8 on Underdog Fantasy. And this is entirely too low for me, and that's going to be Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, a unicorn in every aspect of the game, okay? In the way that he plays and how physical he is, and how he gets better as the game goes on. As he gets hit more, for some reason, he's better and stronger, which is like a non-human thing. He's like he's an alien or something. But Derrick Henry, for some reason, last year, he was RB4 in PPR leagues. This year, apparently we're projecting him to be the RB8 because he's going at the end of the second round of fantasy startups right now. He's going as the RB8 off the board. This is a guy that has RB1 overall upside, 100%, for a couple of reasons. I think one reason that people are shorting Derrick Henry is because of Tyjae Spears. Tyjae Spears, according to Simon on our video prep document, is Mr. Nobody. And I think that's actually a good name for him because when you look at Derrick Henry and how he's dominated that backfield every single year he's been there. Last year, he had an 83% opportunity share, which is the percentage of total team running back carries and targets. 83%. He had a 39.6% dominator rating, which is the percentage of total team yards and team touchdowns generated on an offense. So from an opportunity standpoint, from a workhorse back standpoint,
he's almost 40% of the offense by himself.
It's not going to change, guys. No matter if it's Tannehill, no matter if it's Will Levis, it doesn't matter who's going to be the quarterback. That offense, as long as Derrick Henry is there, is going to run through Derrick Henry. Now,
his offense.
Long term, how long is he going to be there? We don't know, but we know he's going to be there this year. And why does it matter past that? Do you really think Derrick Henry is going to go out there and produce anywhere besides like a top 4 running back? I do not see it. You're starting your drafts a lot of these times with certified league winners in Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and getting another one. You get 2 league winners in the first 2 rounds with Derrick Henry at the end of the second, sometimes into the third. It's ridiculous. I mean, Derrick Henry, as he's gone on in his career, and this is a good thing for a lot of reasons, you've also seen him improve in the receiving game. Last year, 10.3% target share on 8 routes per game. That's first in yards per reception and also first in yards per route run. So he's not only getting the volume now from a passing game standpoint, he's very efficient. Not only is that going to give him a higher floor in fantasy, especially in PPR leagues, that's also going to increase his longevity. When you look at running backs that are PPR style backs, they're going to be catching the ball a lot, like Austin Eckler, Aaron Jones. They're going to have a lot less. Now, while Derrick Henry does already meet the threshold to fall off, and he's taken a ton of carries, he's a
certified unicorn.
That's what we're trying to tell you.
When one of the greatest running backs of all time falls off.
No.
How many running backs have had 2,000-yard seasons? Not very many. Derrick Henry is one of the greatest of all times. It's like trying to say Travis Kelce is going to... No, don't try to predict it. Just keep drafting him until he proves you wrong.
Yeah, and you're just limiting your ceiling, in my opinion, if you're taking Tony Pollard or Ramondre Stevenson specifically ahead of Derrick Henry. They're all going neck and neck right by each other, end of the second, start of the third in fantasy drafts. And for me, especially for Ramondre Stevenson, I mean, this guy, I know we can have some recency bias with Ramondre not finishing strongly at the end of last season, but there is something to be said about the New England backfield on a year-to-year basis. You can't trust who produced at a high level the previous year to do it again the following year. And I think they've already made that quite clear going into this season that Ramondre may have some limited opportunity in that offense because that's how Bill Belichick likes to run things there. He likes to have fresh legs in that backfield every other play, and he likes to give everyone opportunities, and anyone who runs his system well, he's going to utilize. And while Ramondre does that quite well, there are other running backs in that offense that are going to do the same thing. And you're limiting your ceiling if you're taking Ramondre over Derrick Henry by far.
I think what he's trying to say is Derrick Henry.
Yeah, this is now Ramondre.
With Derrick Henry at the current ADP he's going at is better than any running back going there. Outside of maybe.
There's one more.
Maybe the next guy.
And the one more is the only player in the league who had a higher opportunity share than Derrick Henry last year. Absolutely dominant. 2,000 yards from scrimmage. It's Josh Jacobs.
Why is he going as the RB10? I do not understand this.
Who was the RB1 last year?
In standard leagues, you mean?
Yeah. Well, and in PPR.
Well,
Joshua Jacobs, Austin Eckler was running back.
Austin Eckler in PPR, Josh Jacobs in standard leagues.
Yeah. Still, Josh Jacobs.
You get the point, right?
Josh Jacobs in PPR, he had an 11.8% target share. He ran 19 routes per game. He was incredibly efficient on the ground, 4.9 yards per carry. I believe that was top 10 among running backs over 200 carries. I mean, over 100 carries, not 200. You don't even need 200. He was incredibly efficient. Josh Jacobs, in the first 10 carries of a game, averaged 4.4 yards per game. He through 11 to 20, he averaged up to 5.3 yards per carry. He got more, yards per carry, 5.3 yards per carry. He got more efficient as the game went on.
That means he wears defenses down.
Guess how many carries he got per game? 20. The offense knows how to use Josh Jacobs. He was the focal point of the offense, even with Devontae Adams on the team.
What are you wearing?
It's a cool shirt.
I just noticed
this represents Josh Jacobs. He's an absolute predator.
We've got DD sweatshirts on it. That's like, I look over. That looks like the one in the office where Dwight is like it looks like you're going to a fish fry, Dwight.
Look at the green eyes, man.
Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Josh Jacobs, he's a force to be reckoned with. Defenses in the NFL cannot stop him. There's a reason he had 2,000 yards last year.
Jimmy Garoppolo isn't afraid to dump it off to Josh Jacobs anytime he gets the chance.
They're playing in the same offensive scheme, too. It's still Josh McDaniels' offensive scheme.
Yeah. The same reason people thought Josh Jacobs might do well last year because they said Josh Jacobs uses his running backs. Well, he's going to do it again.
Josh McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels uses Josh Jacobs. Yeah. Next, we have Aaron Jones going at running back 17. Aaron Jones, the guy who was running back 9 last year. Aaron Jones, who has given us no reason to start fading him. He was 5th in the league in yards and true yards per carry last year. He's efficient. What's going to happen? What's going to change? His offensive line. Speaking of 5th best in the league, he had the 5th best offensive line play out of running backs last year. That's not going to change. Is it like A.J. Dillon's going to grow some legs overnight and overtake him? I get it. A.J. Dillon's legs, they're massive. A.J. Dillon is not efficient. He was 41st in the league last year in efficiency, in true yards per carry. Aaron Jones, on top of that, if you're playing on underdog, you're playing in half PPR. In half PPR last year, like I said, Aaron Jones was 9th, RB9. No, he's not going to go anywhere. He's going to keep catching passes. Who's better? Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Just based on their play so far in the NFL.
It's close.
Well,
it's very close.
Jordan Love has had a lot of experience in the NFL.
It's very close, but I'll take the 5 MVPs over the 3 years of experience on the bench.
I mean, Jordan Love did have 160 passing yards last season.
He did in the game that he played. Yeah. So the point is, the Packers offense, if it struggled with Aaron Rodgers, I'm willing to bet it's going to struggle with Jordan Love. And in that case, I think Aaron Jones might get the ball a lot.
You think?
So I think he's a lock to finish higher than
much.
RB17. And the guy, he has easily top 10 potential. I mean, he's done it many times. We've all seen it.
100%
yeah,
agree.
and
bet on Aaron Jones.
I think people are just afraid of the age with this guy. I mean, don't look at the age, look at the usage. He has 1,035 career carries. And the reason his usage is so low is because the snap share is low and they use him in the passing game so often. So he is going to last much longer than a lot of guys around his age at the running back position, and this is why he's such a great value right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then our next guy is going to be somebody that has been historically a favorite player of yours, actually. That's James Conner.
By historically favorite, he means historically least favorite, and then he became my favorite player.
And then he got some fantasy sense, because he missed out on him the year that he went off.
Yeah, with James Conner, the guy,
it's going to happen again.
The guy last season. Yes, I understand it was a down year for the Cardinals as a whole. Yes, I understand from a total points perspective, it was a down year for James Conner because he struggled with injury at the beginning of the season. But on a points per game basis, this man did not slow down. He was running back 9 on a points per game basis last season with 15.4 points per game. This guy had 2 points per game less than what he did in 2021 with 10 less touchdowns.
It means he was better
outside of the volatile touchdown metric. This man had 4.3 yards per carry compared to in 2021 3.7 yards per carry. He literally got more efficient. So if you're expecting James Conner to fall off, look at what he did last season by literally improving his efficiency. 46 receptions, which was the second most ever in his career. James Conner is not known for his receiving upside, but the Kyler Murray injury really accelerated his receiving impact in PPR leagues. And he had, with his 46 receptions, again, like I said, second most ever compared to his best ever being 55, his second year, I think, with Pittsburgh. But that really went off when Kyler was injured after he tore his ACL. And this is what we're going to see this year. Kyler is not going to come back for at least half the season.
At least.
And when he does, he's not going to be the Kyler of last year. They're going to be protecting the heck out of him. They're going to want him to stay in the pocket, and that means more checkdowns for James Conner. Okay, so don't be worried about James Conner's production this season. He is poised to literally, I mean, running back 1 is not aggressive, guys, and he's going as running back 28, not running back 1 overall.
Yeah,
I'm saying
running back,
running back
1, 12.
Yeah, like
that's
he's going as a running back 3.
Is a joke.
Who is going to carry the? Are they just not going to run it?
I don't know. I don't know.
What?
5 targets per game when Kyler Murray was injured.
This literally makes zero sense to me.
5 targets per game.
This is bold. I think I'd
Rondale
rather.
Moore's a better running back than their second string running back. Sorry.
I think
you're probably right.
Keontae Ingram isn't going to do anything
No,
to hurt
they don't
James
have
Conner,
anybody.
guys.
And James Conner's under contract. Like here, this is bold. I think for fantasy this year, I'd rather have James Conner than Kenneth Walker.
Wow. I agree. I honestly agree. Like I didn't even think about that, and I agree. I mean, come on. The last 7 weeks, weeks 10 to 17, when Kyler Murray was injured, he was a top 5 overall running back 4 times of those 7 weeks. And his worst week, he scored 13.4 fantasy points.
Mid. That sounds mid to me.
I'll take that floor at running back 28 all day. You really think James Cook and Cam Akers are going to outscore that? No.
No, they're not.
And that really, I mean,
the main difference between James Conner and those guys is that James Conner is a good running back. So you also have to take into account, skill.
Correct. And James Conner's going behind those guys.
Guys, he seriously might be the single biggest smash draft in fantasy football. Please. If you're flexing James Conner
everywhere.
Yeah.
If you're flexing James Conner is insane. Alvin Kamara is really, I mean, the same thing here. I want you guys to just look up with me and be amazed. You guys see that?
I see it.
You see that?
I see it.
That's 6 years of running back 1 production. He was 4 of the last 6 seasons a top 4 running back on a points per game perspective. His worst season was last year, where on a points per game basis, he was running back 13 at 14.1 points per game. And you're getting this guy at running back 31, according to Underdog.
Holy crap.
He improved his efficiency from 2021 to 2022 from a yards per carry perspective, okay? So this guy is not falling off. Don't expect Alvin Kamara to significantly fall off from 14.1 points per game. I understand that the suspension is a concern, and that should absolutely knock his value from a fantasy points perspective.
From like RB12 to like RB18.
RB12 to maybe RB18. Exactly. Because
RB31.
Again, we know how the NFL works with off the field situations like what Alvin Kamara is struggling with. This is not, and the funny thing is Zeke Elliott ends up being a high-end running back too, at worst. Like, he's going to get the touches, he's going to get the carries, 1,135 attempts, career carries. That's his usage right now. He has plenty of time left, well below 1,500. And the suspension, while it's looming, it's probably only going to be 6 games, guys. And we don't play for the first 6 weeks of the season. We play for the championship at the end of the year. And Alvin Kamara will be playing for you at the end of the season. Yes, Kamara could score less than he does in the past few seasons, and he is definitely on a downward slope from a fantasy points perspective. But going down from 14.1 points per game to a couple points less is still easily a running back 2. Easily. If you think that Cam Akers, David Montgomery, James Cook, Antonio Gibson, A.J. Dillon, and P. Ryan have the same upside as Kamara does, you are insane.
Out of your mind.
And they are all going around or ahead of Alvin Kamara.
What is P. Ryan doing there? It's like the soldiers peeking around the corner.
He played 2 good games last year with the Bengals.
And then the guy in the clown suit. He's the guy in the clown suit.
It's an absolute joke.
I'll send you that meme to put on.
Like,
here.
we have got to wake up. I understand at the running back position last year, it was a down year. Outside of the top producing assets like Austin Eckler and those guys with receiving upside, like it was a down year for sure. The fantasy community has overcorrected with the old guys.
Yep.
We're afraid that those who maybe had a little bit of injury concerns last season or have approached the 28-year-old benchmark are going to all of a sudden fall off and be terrible. We're talking about Alvin Kamara and Derrick Henry, who at this time have, like, over the last 6 seasons, have been 2 of the best running backs in the NFL.
And are they eventually going to stop doing that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we are not in the business of trying to predict the year that somebody falls off.
Yeah. But
not to mention,
Kamara's not going from 14 points per game to 7.
Not to mention, I mean, at RB31, you're talking about like the 9th, 10th round. At that point, you are shooting for boom potential.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're shooting for the guy. You were shooting
year.
for the surefire producing guy that has some kind of situation off the field. But he's not going to get suspended a whole season, guys. Have we learned anything about the NFL in their lack of a spine?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not getting suspended.
Yep. And the reason it was really a down year for him
Or
is
he's not getting suspended for the whole season.
because Alvin Kamara only scored 4 total touchdowns last year, which, again, touchdowns, such a volatile statistic. We can't predict that. So, but 4 touchdowns was out of character for him.
Yep.
And that wasn't his fault. I would wager that that's not going to happen again.
You've got to be buying these guys. You have to be drafting them in your fantasy leagues. Trust us, especially, actually, not even especially, all of them. All of them are good values, and all of them are very, very, very good values. These are guys that have the upside to win your league that you can get at a price where it's affordable. You can stack your teams at other positions and still get these guys. Some of these guys, like I said, are going in flex-worthy spots in the drafts that are like starter players. So again, we think these guys are going to help you win your leagues. That's what we're here to help you do. We're here to help you try to win your league and win some money. Do us a huge favor. Make sure you like this video and also make sure you're subscribed. We're going to come out with videos like this all season long, trying to help you win your fantasy leagues. So we appreciate that. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you later.